Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A leading up to Game of Thrones Season 7. Haven't done one for a few days, so definitely wanted to do one. This one we're going to start with talking about the question, how will the White Walkers pass the wall? Alright, so going to be continuing with the Game of Thrones videos. I'll pretty much do them all year, except for this year. It's probably going to be a year and a half because, of course, Game of Thrones release date has been officially pushed back, or maybe not officially, but, Dan and Dave, the showrunners, have said that most likely it's going to be pushed back. So, still no word on when exactly we're going to see Season 7 of Game of Thrones, but if you look at it in terms of filming time and them probably wanting to film in the fall/winter for this year, it's most likely going to be late summer. May even be fall 2017. So that kind of sucks. But that said, going to continue to make the Game of Thrones videos to the top 10 best episodes one. I think that one turned out pretty good. I hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to send them to me. Ask me any questions for ongoing Q&As. I'll probably do one top 10 best characters pretty soon. So that'll be coming up within the next week or two, roughly. So with this one, how will the White Walkers pass the wall? So I think this is a great question, and there was a great comment from Francisco Arcos in my last Q&A, and he said, remember the Night King touched Bran's arm, and that allowed him to pass through the Three-Eyed Raven's cave. Maybe that will play a role when they pass through the wall. So they kind of have to, in terms of the story, pass the wall. We're starting to see the winter come about now. Season 8, I'm sure after Season 7, they'll probably film at the same time of the year, so it'll probably be during the winter. And it should be pretty cool, because all the locations we're used to are going to be even more, during the winter when they're filming that, or at least in the fall versus the summertime. Going to be even more filled with snow and everything, and dreary and all that good stuff, darker and everything. So it should be a lot of fun. So I think he's onto something here, and I wanted to include this one for sure in this one because I think this is a great call. Because if you remember, Cold Hands or Benjen did say that there's strong magic in the wall, and that he can't pass the wall, and neither can the White Walkers. That said, if Bran passes the wall, just like inside the cave, if he's touched, if he's been branded, so to speak, or touched, hey, that's been branded. No, that's interesting. If he goes further through, like if he actually himself passes the wall, will that then give the Night King and the White Walkers the ability to pass it as well, just like the cave, with the Children of the Forest type deal? That's a great one, man. I really think that fits, and that makes a lot of sense, and maybe they won't notice, and somehow, Bran will be brought across, or something will happen with him, or maybe he won't realize, and then when he does, the White Walkers will come through too, and it should make for some pretty awesome episodes for sure. So really excited to see that. Can't wait until we do. And I'm thinking that John will, of course, be the one leading that fight. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Daenerys, makes her way up there and to help out and that kind of thing. You'd think so, because Dragonfire is going to be really good against the White Walkers, and it's going to be tough for John and everybody else up there to beat them. Because if you look at what they can do and everything, I mean, they're really hard to kill, obviously, and unless you burn them or unless you totally destroy them. They're pretty tough to kill, for sure. And then, of course, they can add to their numbers. So if you have one battle with them and you feel like you killed more of them than they killed of you, well, they can still take the numbers that you lost and they can add them to their own ranks and then come at you again. So, man, it's like a horde. So it's pretty tough, man, for sure. And I'm really excited to see. I still feel like that will be our final battle in the series. I feel like when Game of Thrones ends, it'll probably end with the Night King, Jon. That final battle, I feel like, is probably Season 8 type territory. So let me know what you guys think. How do you think they're going to pass the wall, if you think they're going to at all, or if the battle will be north of the wall? I tend to think it won't be. I think that they will find a way through. And that might be it. Francisco might have it. So write your comments below on what you think. If you have any other fan theories or anything, let me know, guys. So let me hear what you have to say about that one. Next one's from JodieMayo, and here she says, I guess it's she, if you had to choose between Jon and Daenerys to survive the series, who would you choose? I would choose Jon because I like him and I relate to him a lot more. So if I had to choose one of the two to survive, well, Jon's already been killed and brought back now. So it's kind of like he hasn't really fully survived. I mean, he's been resurrected and all that. But if I had to choose one between Jon and Daenerys, I think I'd have to go with Jon as well. I do like Jon better. I think I like Daenerys a lot too, but Jon, man, the Battle of the Bastards was just awesome with him. And there's something you got to really respect. I mean, Daenerys does too if they're going to fight a battle. You know, they both get right in there, right? It's not like they both just sit on their throne and just let whoever fight. Like kind of like Cersei, right? Cersei plans and she plots, but she doesn't pick up a sword and get in there. I love Jon where he goes right at the forefront. He's right in there, you know, ready to fight alongside everybody else. Daenerys with the dragons as well, too. Similar in that way. But I guess if I have to choose, I would go with Jon, for sure, myself. So he's kind of like, I think when the whole series ends, of course, Tiryon has been my favorite character pretty much all the way throughout the series. But I almost feel like Jon, with everything that's happened with him at the end of Season 6, like he's making a case, like he might be overtaking him. And I can see, for a lot of people, why Jon would be their favorite character in the series. Or I could see why their favorite character might be Daenerys, too. You know, really strong female character, you know, hero, or... Yeah, just, you know, either one is a great choice for sure. But for me, personally, I like Jon better, I guess, is what I'm saying. Kevin Means says, hey, Trev, I was discussing Game of Thrones over the weekend, and more specifically, the prophecy surrounding Cersei being killed by her brother. I'm wondering what you think about Arya being the one to kill off Cersei, but wearing a Jaime or Tyrion face. Oh, that's interesting. It was just a random thought I had, but I thought it would be really cool if they went that direction with the show. As always, thanks for making your videos and keep up the great work. I would love to see Arya wear Tyrion's face and assassinate Cersei. That would be something, man, for sure. Because, of course, us as viewers, we know that she absolutely hates Tiryon. But maybe wearing Jaime, unless Jaime does it himself. A lot of people really think that Jaime is going to be the one to kill Cersei. I saw that in the video I did a video on that. I personally think right now that Jaime, you know, he cares about him more than anybody, so I really have a hard time seeing him do it. But, you know, this Game of Thrones, there can be development, there can be change, and then maybe he will. So a lot of people think that he will. I'd like to see either, but I think I like your idea of having Arya wear Tyrion's face and do it. Something about that just sounds like a really, really epic kind of kill if Arya is going to be the one to kill Cersei. That's probably the way I would like to see it happen. Sensei Bernie says, hey Trev, I'm enjoying your videos on the Game of Thrones. Quick thought, I am rewatching the series. And in Season 3, Arya is with the Brotherhood Without Banners when Melisandre comes to take Gendry. They have a brief encounter, and Melisandre tells her they will meet again. Do you think that Arya will find her as she is leaving Winterfell and Arya is leaving the Freys? If so, would Arya want to kill her? Thanks, homie. So that's a great, really, really great and insightful question for sure as well, too. So will Arya run into Melisandre on the way, or maybe the Hound, or something like that? It'd be really cool to see, man, that's for sure. There's some great ideas here for some stuff they could do with Arya that would be really good. I don't know if she would want to kill Melisandre. I mean, kind of, because she took Gendry. But I don't know if she feels adamant enough to just try to kill her right away. You know, if she just runs into her, do you guys think, and you can write your thought on this one as well in the comments, do you think that Arya has enough motivation, just because Melisandre took Gendry, to want to just kill her? Or at least maybe question her and find out what happened to Gendry and that kind of deal. It's interesting for sure, and it would be cool to see maybe at the end of the series Arya find Gendry again and maybe the two of them be together or something. I don't know, that would be cool, but at this time I almost feel like maybe we'll never see Gendry again. So we'll see how that goes. But I do like your ideas here that she might run into either one. And, you know, I'd like to see that, but I don't think I'd like to see her kill Melisandre. I don't think there's enough there to make her motivations want to, you know, like, I know she was pissed about it, but I don't know if she'd really want to actually try to kill her because of it, is what I'm saying. And now we'll do just one or two more. This one's from Sailor Diva, and she says, who will Cersei ally with now? Dorne and Highgarden are with Daenerys. The North has its own king with the Vale, and it looks like the Riverlands are back with the Tullys. Will the Mad Queen and the Kraken take on the Seven Kingdoms now? Yeah, man, no, you're absolutely right when you point it out like that, and some people have as well too. It seems like Cersei is very powerful, of course, but once you think about it more carefully, and she is. I mean, she's in the hot seat. She's in the the most powerful position in all. But really, is she? It's kind of like Tywin was never on the throne. He never wanted to be, but he was still regarded as probably the most powerful man in all of Westeros, right? Even though he wasn't on. He didn't have the crown, and yet he was still the most powerful man there was. I mean, even Robert was afraid of him and talked about how he was half a kingdom in debt to him. So he was very, very powerful for his time. And now they have so many enemies. It's going to be difficult for Cersei to do just about anything but pretty much survive. And Caden Lewis says, how about Jon Snow marries, this was in the Mary video about the possibility with Daenerys and Jon getting together, Lady Mormont in 10 years. He's like 17 and she's like 10, so 10 years, in 10 years marriage would be cool, especially better than incest with Sansa or Daenerys. Well, I wouldn't think he would marry Sansa. That would be just super weird. Daenerys, I mean, it's not real, whatever. I don't think we're going to see that. That would be funny, but she's a great character too, as well, for sure. And I thought it was a funny one. That's why I added this one. I think people really liked her. I think IGN did one video. I didn't watch it, but I saw their it post that their favorite character from the season 6 was Lady Mormont. So that was funny because. She is really funny, and I love at the end of the season how she calls out the different lords who did not fight alongside them. It was pretty funny. So, let me know what you guys think and, the answers to these questions, as well as you can ask more questions. I'll go through this video, so if you want to leave them in the comments below for the next video, feel free to ask any questions you like, opinions or whatever, leading up to Season 7 and Season 8 of Game of Thrones. And that'll be it for this one, guys. If you like this video, please don't forget to thumb it up below. Please share a favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, please subscribe to the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again real soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. You better subscribe.